The 7 cures for a lean purse. It is a law of the gods, that unto him who keepeth and spendeth not a certain part of all his earnings, shall gold come more easily. Likewise, him whose purse is empty does gold avoid. This is why you must save at least 10% of all you earn, that it will be a magnet to draw more money to you. That is what each of us calls our necessary expenses, will always grow to equal our incomes unless we protest to the contrary. Engrave upon the clay each thing for which thou desirest to spend, selecting those that are necessary and others that are possible through the expenditure of 9/10 of thine income. Cross out the rest and consider that but a part of that great multitude of desires that must go unsatisfied, and regret them not. The purpose of a budget is to help thy purse to fatten. This then is the second cure for a lean purse. Budget thy expenses that thou mayest have coins to pay for thy necessities, to pay for thy enjoyments, and to gratify thy worthwhile desires without spending more than 9/10 of thy earnings. Gold in a purse is gratifying to own and satisfieth a miserly soul, but earns nothing. The gold we may retain from our earnings is but the start. The earnings it will make shall build our fortunes. A man's wealth is not in the coins he carries in his purse. It is in the income he buildeth, the golden stream that continually floweth into his purse, and keepeth it always bulging. I always said a man who has to flash his money in public is a man that's not used to having it. An income that continueth to come, whether thou work or travel. This is the third cure for a lean purse, to put each coin that laboreth, that it may reproduce its kind even as the flocks of the field, and help bring to thee income, a stream of wealth that shall flow continuously into thy purse. This is what they call residual income. We must first secure small amounts and learn to protect them before the gods entrust us with larger. The first sound principle of investment is security for thy principal. The penalty of risk is probable loss. Before thou loan it to any man, assure thyself of his ability to repay and his reputation for doing so, that thou mayest not unwittingly be making for him a present of thy hard-earned treasure. Today I explained to my 12-year-old on the way home from school that if he had gotten a job that makes $10 an hour and he works for 8 hours, I asked him, how much does he make at the end of the day? He said $80. I said, okay. I said, now consider your largest expense. And he looked at me with a question mark, and I said taxes. So take half of that practically out. What do you have left? $40. So I said, after taxes, you worked 8 hours for $40, maybe 50, 55, you see. And so I told him that, so you take your money at the end of the week, making $45, $50, $55 a day, and you go to the mall when you get your check at the end of the week, and you take you and your 2 friends with you to the movies, and you pay for each. And I said, let's say that the tickets cost $10 a piece. I said, how much is that? He said, $30. I said, how long did it take you to earn $40? And he struggled with that for a minute, even though I had just told him. But I reminded him. So I went back. I said, you make $10 a day, you work $10 an hour, you work 8 hours a day. How much do you have? He said 80. I said, minus taxes, you have 40. I said, so you're getting ready to spend $30 for a 2-hour movie. How long did it take you to earn 40, 45, 50? And he remembered 8 hours. I said, so my point is that it's always easier to spend money than it is to earn it. Until you get to a point in your life where you have that problem that wealthy people have, which is too much money. You don't know what to do with it. But until then, you do have to be faithful with what you have and know the value of $1 by knowing how hard you had to work to get it in the first place. Now that doesn't mean not to have fun. The goal is to live really within your dreams, not within your means. Wealthy people, from my studies, instead of saying I can't afford it, they ask themselves how they can afford it. And instead of living within their means, they live within their dreams. So if their means is not enough to supply their goals or their dreams, then they expand their means. Start an internet business, buy some ATM machines and put them in some secure places so that you can make some residual income while you're at work. Those machines are making money for you. That's just an idea of how to expand your means. How many machines would you need to pay your car note every month on the car that you want? So the goal is to figure out assets that'll pay for whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are. Don't just settle for what you make every day or every hour. This then is the fourth cure for a lean purse. Guard thy treasures from loss by investing only where thy principal is safe. Okay, we read that. Okay. Okay. No man's family can fully enjoy life unless they do not have a plot of ground wherein children can play in the clay, earth, and where the wife may raise not only blossoms but good rich herbs to feed her family. For a man to own domicile and to have it a place he is proud of, to care for, it putteth confidence in his heart and greater effort behind all his endeavors. This then is the fifth cure for a lean purse. Own thy dream home. No man can afford not to insure a treasure for his old age and the protection of his family, no matter how prosperous his business and his investments may be. Therefore, do I recommend to all men that they, by wise and well thought out methods, do provide against a lean purse in their mature years. For a lean purse to a man no longer able to earn, or to a family without its head, is a sore tragedy. This then is the sixth cure for a lean purse. Provide in advance for the needs of thy growing age and the protection of thy family. A couple years back, I had a conversation with my parents. I'm an only child. And it was an uncomfortable conversation. It was a conversation about whether or not they had their will done. Because I don't like the thought of losing my parents. And it was not me that incited this conversation, but rather a friend of mine who had lost his mother. And luckily their business, their house was in order. So he told me, who's the same age as me, as a dear friend, he said, bro, he said, it's an uncomfortable subject, but my mom had insurance. They had insurance. So you need, and they had their will and things taken care of. It was my close friend that actually forced me to have that uncomfortable conversation with my parents. So I went ahead and talked to them, and I said, well, do you guys have a will? And my mother said, we are avid travelers. She said, and to be honest with you, every time I get on a plane, I think about that. And I never knew that my mother thought about that. This could be her last trip, but she said every time she gets on a plane, and they've been all over the world, she said, I think about that every time. And that conversation there is what incited them to go ahead and get their will done. So now I know what attorney's office, if should anything happen to my beloved, I know where to go, and everything's taken care of. Lucky for me, I guess you could say I don't have any siblings, so I'm already wealthy, because they told me what their assets are, and they told me what their cash value is. Pretty cool. But the bottom line is, we had to have that conversation, and it wasn't me. It was my friend that said, man, you gotta, because he lost his mom, and that made him tell me from his own experience to get that taken care of. So I did. Okay. Preceding accomplishment must be a desire. Thy treasures must be strong and definite. General desires are but weak longings. For a man to wish to be rich is of little purpose. For a man to desire 5 pieces of gold is a tangible desire, which he can press to fulfillment. This is the process by which wealth is accumulated, first in small sums, then in larger ones, as a man learns to become more capable. Desires must be simple and definite. They defeat their own purpose should they be too many, too confusing, or beyond a man's training to accomplish. As a man perfecteth himself in his calling, even so doeth his ability to earn increase. The more of wisdom we know, the more we may earn. That man who seeks to learn more of his craft shall be richly rewarded. Therefore I urge all men to be in the front rank of progress, and not to stand still, lest they be left behind. Many things come to make a man's life rich, with gainful experiences, such things as the following a man must do if he respects himself. And here they are. He must pay his debts with all the promptness within his power. not purchasing that for which he is unable to pay. He must take care of his family that they may think and speak well of him. And that goes for a woman too. There are many households, unfortunately, today run only by women. So these principles apply to everyone. He must make a will of record that, in case the gods call him, or her, proper and honorable division of his property be accomplished. And before I give you the last one, I do have another friend that's older who also prompted me during that same time that my other friend was telling me to go ahead and have that conversation with my parents. I think it was a divine thing, because he too lost his mom. But when he lost his mom, what she left, because she didn't have her business in order, was the siblings to argue over what she had. And that's why he was saying, because that his family went through that, he was saying, B, they call me B, you need to go ahead and get that taken care of. So I did. And finally, a man must have compassion upon those who are injured and smitten by misfortune, and aid them within reasonable limits. He must do deeds of thoughtfulness to those dear to him. This is Warren B., the author of The Science of Greatness, spelled with $2. Greatness spelled with $2, on Amazon.com books and Kindle books. Thank you.